Hi, I am Olivia Jane Deru, and I am 9 years old, and this is my story.
I'm gonna cry talking about her because she's so special.
I have Chiari Malformation.
Olivia was also diagnosed with scoliosis, syringlioma, and recently with Ehlers-Danlos syndrome.
Why do you love Olivia? I love Olivia because she's always kind, and she's kind to people, and she's my best sister.
When Olivia was about a year old, we took her to the pediatrician, and he noticed that she was possibly delayed socially and with her speech. And so we took her in and got her tested and figured out that maybe we needed to do something to help her out. So we started with early intervention, and Olivia did amazing, and she always has been somebody who's willing to work hard towards something. Olivia, how old are you? You're 3? Can you say 3? Are you excited for your first day of preschool? And today is your first day. Okay, can you say bye?
I am Olivia's grandmother. I have been a part of her life from the day she's been born. When she was little, she had a hard time speaking with all of her problems, and so you couldn't understand what she wanted, and she'd get so frustrated she'd cry. Finally, by the time you figured out what she wanted, and you say, "Is that what you want?" and she'd be so happy.
Love you. When she graduated from early intervention, she went on with the school district and again worked really hard towards her goals. But we started noticing that she would also develop headaches by the end of the school day and just kind of having struggles as a normal kid. And the school day was really hard for her, and we took her to her 8-year-old wellness visit, and he noticed that she had some severe scoliosis. So we went to a specialist at Primary Children's Hospital, and as she got looking, we soon figured out that Olivia's problems were probably much bigger than just scoliosis. She ordered an MRI, and they called us a few days later with the devastating news that she had Chiari Malformation. At the time, we didn't really know what that meant, but we quickly figured out that Olivia was gonna have a little bit more to her journey than just speech. And a puzzle that we had possibly had pieces of throughout her life all of a sudden started coming together.
Chiari Malformation makes me feel sad because I can't play with my friends, and I can't go to recess most of the times. I get headaches a lot, and sometimes the back of my neck hurts. I have to just lay in my bed all the time.
Chiari malformation, to oversimplify it, is Olivia's brain is herniating down into her spinal cord. It's being pulled down. There are actually things called brain tonsils. We had no idea that the brain even had tonsils, but the brain tonsils are being pulled down, and it's creating a lot of pressure, and that's what's causing scoliosis. It's causing all these complications. The surgery that they have with it is they have to go and remove a back part of the skull. They have to take the first C1 and C2 of the vertebrae and shave them down to make more room. They shrink those brain tonsils to bring them back up, and that's supposed to allow for more room. And so in September of 2019, Olivia had this surgery to be able to remove it. It was a brain decompression surgery.
Her brain decompression surgery was very scary. We had never had a child have surgery before, but her surgeons were incredible, and her surgery went amazing. Her recovery was better than we could have ever imagined or expected, and she was healing really well from surgery. We welcomed a new little baby 2 weeks later, and Olivia loved being a brand new sister. But in November, we noticed that her back started hurting really bad again, and her symptoms continued to worsen over the next month. And so her surgeon ordered another MRI, and although the surgery was very necessary and our first step, unfortunately it's just not the end of Olivia's journey. At the following appointment, the doctor informed us that the surgery wouldn't be as small as we were hoping. Some people just have one surgery and are done, but Olivia's wasn't that, and so we were hoping that it was just going to be a small surgery and that she could maybe heal from there. But we're sitting with the surgeon and the word spinal fusion came out of his mouth. And I remember sitting in the doctor's office feeling in disbelief because I had read about Chiari patients and I knew that that could be a step further in the future, but I just wasn't expecting it this soon. My mom's heart was not at ease. I felt like there was more, and I started researching, and that's when we found the clinic in Spain that gave our family some hope.
Our family has a very special connection with Spain. In 2004, I served as a missionary there, and I lived in Barcelona for about a year. When we discovered the Chiari Institute, that it was just a few blocks from where I used to live, we feel like God directed us and helped us get to this point, and it was meant for Olivia.
I felt like the Lord's arms were around our family, and I knew in that moment that He had a plan for our sweet daughter, and that we were in His hands and we were safe, and now we just need to figure out how to get her there. I know that Olivia is a warrior and she's strong and amazing, and she can overcome anything, and she will do it with a smile. And us as her parents are going to do everything that we can to make her have the best life she can possibly live.
I love Olivia's bright smile.
Imagine the sweetest girl you know and times it by 10. That is Olivia.
Livy is the most amazing little girl. She really carries a light about her, and everywhere she goes you can really feel her light when you're around her.
Yeah, and she's always the one that is standing up for the little kids and always just the joy in all of our games.
I love Olivia because she is the nicest little girl, and she will do anything you ask her. She is just an absolute angel of a little girl.
I am Olivia's best friend from school. I love her because she's nice.
I really don't think I've ever met a little girl as special as Olivia is, and she just has this special spirit of just innocence and love and purity, and we are just so blessed to have her in our family. And she just takes everything that she's been through with such poise and courage, and she's just so brave.
The one thing about Spain is we don't know that that is the end of Olivia's journey, and we are okay with that. We feel at peace that Olivia might have a spinal fusion at the end of this, or whatever she needs to help her. But we also feel very strongly that this is a step in the direction that we're supposed to take, and if we can change Olivia's course by just a few degrees or by just a few years of buying her time, we feel very strongly that that is worth it, and that fighting for our little girl is what we need to do. We also hope that Olivia's story can maybe inspire others, that it can give them hope for people who have maybe found a Chiari malformation, or maybe somebody who doesn't even realize that they have it. It's a very rare condition, and a lot of people with Chiari suffer from headaches that they never know why, and she has a lot of neck and back pain. She also has a lot of numbness in her arms and legs from her syringlioma, which is a cyst within her spine. It is caused from a lack of spinal fluid, and that spinal fluid isn't getting to her spine because her brain is creating a cork at the top of her spine. And this cyst will continue to grow as she doesn't fix that blockage. And we were hoping that the brain decompression surgery would possibly shrink this inoperable cyst that she has, but it didn't. And the bigger the cyst gets, the worse her numbness and feeling in her arms and legs, the loss of, will go away. And that damage is permanent. By not taking care of it, we have the possibility of not regaining that feeling. And that is why the doctors know that we need to do something to prevent this from progressing more.
Our lives are blessed because we get to have her in our lives, and we love her so much. She has a huge capacity to love, and she teaches us that every single day. We love you, Livy.
I love Olivia. I love Olivia. I'm scared to have surgery, but I know Spain is a good option. Please help me get to Spain.